Was brought down easy as you like, really, for the referee. Left with no doubt. And what a chance this could be now for Punjab.
Well, Carroll was enticed when the ball came to Dodum, and that's all about Sahil's timing of the pass. He waited, and Dodum just made the perfect run. And he was really helped out there by Singh as well on the right-hand side of the pitch, who made a flurrying run to take away a couple of defenders, which just allowed Dodum to pull into the space, but brilliant flick on.
Well, Punjab, who fell behind twice to Villa on the opening day, have a chance to go ahead on the final day, and they take that chance. A fantastic finish from the penalty spot, and it's the side from India who take the lead.
Yeah, brilliant penalty from Kipchin. Got a goal yesterday, and he scored as well in the penalty shootout, which his side won, and he showed exactly the type of finesse that was needed in that situation. He scored with cuteness, he scored now with power in this competition, and I'm sure he's over the moon to have put his side up in a semi-final of such magnitude. And they are showing now why they finished first in the qualifiers, aren't they, Punjab?
Absolutely. Out of all the sides from India that we've seen, they've certainly been the team who have impressed most. They lead here, Aston Villa. What's the response going to be like from the hosts as they look to break forward straight away?
You wonder where they'd be if they'd even be in the final, if they'd began the way they're ending this tournament. A real showcase of Indian football at its best.
Here come Aston Villa. There's the ball into the penalty area. Young's free around the outside. Just dragged his shot wide of that far post. But a good response this from Aston Villa. Yeah, you mentioned Pranvir earlier in the game, and he was showing why he was so crucial to the defence of Punjab, because he was so quick to close down Young, and that's something that Villa have not been doing when their opponents, Punjab, have been on the front foot. Perhaps it's turned, the tables have turned now when it comes to learning a lesson or two from the opposition, because Villa really should be taking a page out of the book of Punjab FC's coach. They've really developed under this 4-day tournament. A risky ball out, and Villa might be able to pounce here. They're able to make amends straight away then by intercepting. Carroll, it was some run forward from the centre half.
Perhaps feeling like he's got a bit of amends to be making as well after giving away that penalty. But he's got to remember his role as well. He is a defender, and as important as goals are, keeping them out is also the name of the game, and he needs to remember what his job is in this team. Can't lose his head, can't get distracted with potential glory. Just do your job.
So this is where the potential height advantage might come in for Aston Villa. But of course, it's all about the delivery, and Borland is the man with that responsibility.
Size advantage here could come into play.
It almost did, but Pranvir, he's been first to everything so far. There again for Punjab.
Yeah, read the danger really well.
Would have done well to keep this move alive, though, as they're edging further and further forward. There's the strike, and there's a fantastic save. Young's there on the follow-up, but that is not the connection that he would have wanted.
No, sadly not, and he's been in that position now a couple times where the ball's fallen to him on the edge of the box to the right-hand side, and applaud him for doing that. We saw him earlier on in this tournament, and he does like to get on the ball in those sort of areas, and he's always a winning runner. But this time he showed how good his attacking and positional awareness is. But yeah, no, he's got to be doing better when the ball actually comes to his feet, because losing as they are, they're not going to have too many goals and opportunities against a really well-organised Punjab sides.
Pressure is not stopping from Punjab. Look how quick they are to get on with things in terms of the throw. The referee has just halted things, though.
Yeah, perhaps crept a little bit too far forward for the referee's liking. But Simpson doing a real job there in defence, because it's so difficult to mark these fast players, and he didn't let him get past him.
Doden able to win it back. How about that for a fake away from trouble, rolling it through the legs of the Villa man. Managed to get a shot away too.
No, exceptional footwork there from Doden. Really shining bright in this tournament. The more that his side are on the ball, the more he gets to display his brilliant footballing ability.
That's too much of Young, who will keep on pressing though for Villa.
Yeah.
And then won the throw.
Doden maybe didn't need to take the shot here though. Perhaps thinking, well, I've done all the hard work. I deserve the glory. Can't see why he wouldn't deserve it, but no, it was a really, really good opportunity there for the boy to put it really into the box. You know he's got running winners in Kipchen and Sahil, who equally are deserving of this goal to put them 2-0 ahead.
Here come Aston Villa, Boyfield. Not quite the pass Young would have wanted, but he's still on the ball here. The side in claret and blue. That won't last though. Doden.
I guess if you want anybody to be on the ball when there is a little bit of space, it would probably be Doden, wouldn't it, when it's in your own half? Because you can trust him to find a route out of trouble. Really difficult player to tackle, much easier to foul. And that's what Villa have done a couple times, and of course that resulted in the penalty.
Not the pass in the centre that Villa would have wanted. Oh, they're going to go for goal from a long way out. A little too ambitious though, because I tell you what, Doden was free on this near side. And he's the man you want on the ball in that kind of situation as well.
Yeah, not too irritated with his teammate, which is nice to see. I think he appreciates the effort as much as the next person. We all do like a spectacular, but it was probably the wrong move there from Shabong. Shooting isn't his probably forte, and he has kind of shown it there. Doden is really the man you want when it comes to a finishing opportunity and a one-on-one opportunity, which he would have been in for if the pass was played, but that's now a you never know moment.
Young. Simpson now has occupied a lot down this right so far for Aston Villa.
They have improved since the substitutions have been made though, when coming forward a little bit quicker. And they just know where each other are going to be. They're 1-2s with much more rhythm to finding the gaps, the bounce passes, all of the whole repertoire being shown, but there's no goal to be seen yet, and that is largely because of how well this team are drilled from India. The coach can be really, really proud. He said how he was worried about the physical differences between the English and Indian sides just yesterday to us. But his team are making up for it in terms of structure, discipline and organisation, which is so important to the game, and it's something India seem to prize a lot in their football.
Referee just has some sorting out to do inside the penalty area before Villa are allowed to take the free kick. Dangerous situation this, and they're trying something different. Punjab doing enough for now. Eventually able to get it clear too. Might just be more than a clearance as well for the side from India. Trying to hit Villa on the break. How about that for a little bit of acceleration from Singh, who has an option around the outside, who he finds. Oh, and then not the challenge Singh would have wanted. Referee will play on though, as now Villa's turn to try and hunt up the other end.
Look at that, tracking back. So many numbers up at one end, and they all seem to just appear from out of nowhere in the defensive third again.
Young, he's done well so far, still skipping away from 1, 2, and now 3, going for goal. And he wasn't too far away from finding that bottom corner for Aston Villa.
Well, that would have been some goal, wouldn't it? Solo run from deep inside his own path. He's beaten, what, 4 or 5 men there, just with a couple of body feints. flicking the ball around them. He made it look so easy, but this move looked quite easy as well until the cross. They just lost their nerve, I think, here, Punjab, and just sliding in there a bit desperately to try and win that ball, knowing they potentially wasted a good opportunity. But Young there, really, really good. The first time he's managed to find himself in a more central position with the football. And on the counter-attack, he's the man you really want when it comes to Aston Villa's perspective on that ball, because he's got speed, he's got strength, and he's got passion for the ball and a passion for scoring goals. So close that time, but just like a lot of his other efforts, he didn't connect with it. And it's a really hard ball, as we've had the pleasure of feeling, Tyler, haven't we? So perhaps a little bit fearful of whacking it with full force.
Villa have worked it nicely to get away from a tight spot of pressure. Simpson. Linking up with Young. How about that for a diagonal? Villa making their way forward up the far end. Oh, that's a foul, but it's just on the edge of the penalty area, unlike the penalty that was awarded to Punjab earlier on in the half.
Yeah, no, Singh really a bit careless there with the challenge, and I think he's just gotten away with that. Perhaps good decision by the referee, a difficult one to make by the naked eye, but I think he's got it spot on there, and Aston Villa probably hoping for a little bit more. A really good trickery from the forwards, who managed just to slip away from his man, and Singh felt like there was no other option but to dive in, perhaps afraid that the curling effort could ensue following, but Deshval, I'm sure, wasn't too pleased either, because he's put his side under now a little bit of pressure.
Goes that free kick from Villa, straight back out by Punjab. The danger not completely cleared, and there's the shot, which was always rising.
Well, Deshval won't mind, actually, if Villa keep creating chances and putting them over the bar like that. Really, really rash there from the striker. That is Baggio. You don't need to put so much power into it. You can even try and make its way, try and get the ball into the box, sorry.
Buzzer has gone, meaning it's now at the referee's discretion as to when we will end this first half. Are Villa going to be able to create one last chance in this first half? We'll wait and see as they move it out wide towards Young. Simpson's joining in with the attack. It was well seen out that. The standout defender in this game so far.
Dodum that's turned the villain this time when it comes to fouls, and he was the culprit. I think he feels a little bit hard done by, but the referee's probably thought, well, coming from behind, maybe not the best of choices.
They're trying something different and happy to just keep the ball from the free kick. It was a promising position, that. Simpson will deliver now from deep. And, that's comfortable for Deshval, who saw it all the way.
He's going to slow down play now, is he not?
Well, that is that in terms of the first half here in the final game in Birmingham. And not a bad first half, that's for sure, in terms of entertainment. We've had a goal too, and it was for the Indian side, Punjab. It was scored from the spot from Kipchen after a fantastic turn from Dodum to win the spot kick. Still all to play for in this battle for bronze right at the last in Birmingham. But for now, at half-time, it's Aston Villa 0, Punjab 1.
And it's with this penalty, because Kipchen just gets enough height onto it so that Sam Lewis couldn't reach it. Lewis gambles, he stayed low, down to his right-hand side, but Kipchen just got enough loft on the ball and enough power too, not allowing Sam to adjust and really get anything on that. But no, really well worked as well in that move, wasn't it, to win that penalty against Aston Villa. Carroll was the culprit, of course, but other than that, he's been really solid, I thought, today. just like the rest of the Villa squad, they can take a lot of positives, don't you think?
No, absolutely, absolutely. And one thing that I would say that's going to be interesting in this second half, Punjab have played so well, yet to make a substitution, I don't believe, in that first half. How are they going to utilise the substitutes? Are they going to want to bring on some fresh legs so late on in the tournament? But they've been playing so well, so will they want to change things? I think that's going to be an interesting thing in the second half.
We saw it yesterday against Everton, and they managed to claw 2 goals back and win the game from a 1-goal deficit in the second half. And all of that was done without making a single substitution all of the match. So I wouldn't be too surprised, Tyler, if they were to keep the same 11. They've got their tactic boards out right now, and we're giving them the privacy by not showing you guys and potentially the Villa staff watching the honour of seeing these tactics, which are paying off so well. But yeah, no, these players are really fit. Their stamina is incredible, and they all can last the full 50 minutes here that are being played. So I don't think that's probably a concern of the coaches.
And it's incredible. I mean, really, for both sets of players, because it's games every single day. Even though it is 50 minutes, of course, it's stop-start in terms of the clock, so they're out there for even longer. And there's not much recovery time. Of course, yesterday the games were later as well, so there's less time to recover for this afternoon. So credit to everyone involved, every player, every coach. It must be pretty draining for the coaches having to do so much tactical work with such a quick turnaround as well.
Just speaking to the coaches, actually, before the games commenced today, they were saying strict bedtimes for every single player and member of the coaching team. We want to be fresh and rejuvenated for the game the next day. They don't have any time to mess about. Every second is so important, and it's meticulously planned, and I'm sure that goes for the Indian sides too in this competition, especially for Punjab, considering the amount of minutes each individual is playing. You need to plan this so well. The details are so important and so finite as well, or fine-tuned, sorry. And that's probably what allows these players to last the full 50. And the system they're playing also allows for this, I'd say. Wouldn't you, Tyler? Just allow them to sit back and they pick their moments. Similar to Stellenbosch as well, when they want to press, when they want to capitalise on the heavy touch of Aston Villa, which have been there.
Well, the interesting thing for Aston Villa going into this second half is they are preparing quite a few changes. The most important thing from their point of view is that they see a change to the scoreline in the second half, trailing by 1-0 currently. And do you think that's a case of fresh legs so late on in the tournament, or do you think there might just be something tactical going on there for Aston Villa?
I can't see why it's not both, Tyler. Fresh legs always a bonus. These players may be more adept at a different way of playing, and the first tactical setup didn't work necessarily, and the team did improve as well after the first set of substitutions, where they brought on especially Kavir, who I thought had a brilliant influence on the game, helping link up play a lot and getting them into more dangerous areas when they were in more advanced positions, because Aston Villa tended to slow up before the goal. But once that substitution was made, he made sure the one-touch passing continued. But still to no fruit or no avail either. So I'm sure these substitutions are hoping, well, they can bring a little bit more energy, a little bit more of a spring in the step, and a spring in the ball as well, because you want that to be moving and pinging around in the most important areas, and that is obviously the final third of Punjab for this Aston Villa side, and they haven't been doing it enough.
It looks like the referee's almost set and ready to get the players back out again for the second half here, the final half of action.
Do you think Villa are confident still defensively, although conceding the goal, it being a penalty, so not conceding from open play may just kind of calm the nerves still, won't make them nervous or uneasy at the back?
I think one thing I would say is that because Punjab, even though they played brilliantly, a lot of their possessions being within their own half, meaning for at least the Villa backline, there hasn't actually been too much to do for them. which almost gives them more time to think and might increase the nerves. But of course, the thoughts all about those attacking players really in the second half, because they've got a deficit to try and chase and reduce in this second half.
Totally. Carroll here as well. I want to just mention the young man once again, because we've seen it a couple times now in this tournament where the player makes a mistake, and of course they're young, so it's very easy to lose your head a bit, lose your cool. And mental strength is so important at all ages, and it's really at this age where you need to cement it into your game, because this is where you're pushing to get into the higher levels, higher teams, potentially looking at the peripheries of the first team squads when you're around the ages of 18. As we're seeing, players are making their debuts younger and younger, and the Next Generation Cup is exactly what this is for.
So away we go then. The second half. Punjab in the lead. What will their approach be to being one up in the second half? What will Villa's approach be to knowing that they are going to have to find at least one goal in the second 25?
Dangerous game there by Lewis, taking every available second to him. And he's had difficulties already on the ball this tournament, so he might not want to be taking liberties when you've got Doden running down your throat like that, because he's a real quick player and he will chase down every single ball that is in his vision. So yeah, Lewis might want to rethink his tactics here. Just can't afford to be making any silly errors. Best to be safe sometimes.
One thing to note for Villa in this second half so far, Young's moved over to the near side.
Good to see him still on the pitch though, as well, because he has been substituted a fair amount.
Villa winning it back. Flicked over the top, but too close to Deshval, who was able to read the situation.
It's a really difficult thing to try that.
Handed over towards the near side. It was a fantastic initial piece of control. And Suhar couldn't quite keep it in play. Here's Young now for Aston Villa.
I think being on the left now will allow him to come more central, because he can cut in on his right foot, which is what he definitely prefers to do.
This is where Punjab have been dangerous. Here's Kipchen now for the side in orange. There's the option round the outside. Just decides to hold on to it this time.
Probably made the wrong decision there. A bit of indecision coming into the mind and play now for Punjab, sorry, and in particular Kipchen.
Almost too many options for him.
No, precisely. You found the words I was looking for.
Work on that far side, but Punjab still able to do the defensive shift and win it back and stop the danger from Aston Villa.
Well, Brannigan's getting a little go out now as well after the half-time substitutions, and it's just something different for these Punjab defenders to think about. Gotten a bit used to the bigger presence up there, potentially focusing on strength, but this now they're looking to deal with a bit more of an agile and deceptive player, so they need to be on the lookout a little bit more and looking over their shoulders rather than what's in front of them.
Villa making their way forward. That's a great ball into the penalty area. It wasn't the contact that the Villa man Kochel would have wanted.
No, but it's exactly what Deshval would have wanted. An easy claim for the goalkeeper there. And that's really been the story of the game so far, when Aston Villa have gone on the attack and managed to get a shot away. All been very tame.
There's Patterson linking up with Young. Pressure's not stopping, but was too much for the referee's liking. Villa just stopped the opportunity to take the quick free kick. Young's not too happy about that, and I'd say understandably so.
No, definitely. But Young showing why he was probably moved on to this left-hand side now. He's so dangerous on that right foot, and being on the left, he didn't get an opportunity to show that much. So Hill may be unlucky, or not maybe unlucky, maybe lucky to get away without a yellow card there, because the challenge itself could have warranted one alone. But as well, stopping the quick free kick, you tend to see the card brandished, but taken mercy upon by the referee.
Kipchen's done really well to force the error. Let's see what Punjab can do on a counter-attack. They will go for that diagonal. Suhal will play it back. There seems to be less risks from Punjab. Whenever they do have a chance to counter-attack, just wanting to play it safe at points and hold the 1-0 lead.
Certainly, they don't want to risk the counter-attack being counter-attacked. But you wonder, would they feel more secure with that two-goal lead, sorry.
Especially now that Villa are coming forward. Young, that's a great touch around the outside to Patterson. Good challenge on the Villa fullback. That is the problem. After periods of playing it safe for so long, which Punjab have started to do in this second half, it almost leads to the sloppy errors like we saw there with that pass straight out of play.
Exactly, no, and that's sometimes the issue you have when you keep the ball for so much of the game. Possession can also be your worst nightmare in football, because it allows you to make more errors leading to goals. So if they are deciding to keep hold of the ball a little bit more, they want to keep it further up the pitch. As you said, they kept the ball a lot in their own half in the first half. So perhaps that's something they can change in the second. But
here's Dodum. Two players around him, he still manages to find the pass. Free kick really well won there by Sohail. A great burst of acceleration to then draw the foul. A really good position this.
He's such a difficult player to defend against, and Patterson's already had the challenge of him once before in a game where he did get sent off. So I'm sure that was in the minds of the coaching staff when picking the team sheet this morning, and they obviously decided to keep him on the bench as he's only come on at half-time. And I believe that's more of an offensive decision rather than defensive, as he struggled here again against the Hill. But he has allowed Young to really work in the central spaces because he's providing that overlap constantly.
It's only a two-man Villa wall. Certainly suits a left foot to this. I wonder if Kipchen's going to deliver or do that and go straight for goal. Well, the goalkeeper, Sam Lewis, was never really going to be caught up, stayed alert to it.
Yeah, when potentially working against the Punjab midfielder there, probably holding the ball up a little bit and actually catching Lewis out a little bit too, as it fell a bit in front of him. But wasn't really a threatening shot in the end from Kipchen, despite a very, very emphatic set piece scored earlier.
Borland will get it back again out wide. Carroll now for Aston Villa. Very advanced this for the centre-back. Pass ball out to the far side, but the run was made too early.
No, that's quite poor from Aloba there. He needs to stay on side in these positions. When your team is so far up the pitch, you don't want to be the reason why they're pinned back again. And they're building a little bit of momentum too, and that's just being killed by a lack of concentration. And it can be difficult to keep concentration when you are being frustrated the way Punjab are doing to Aston Villa. Just keeping them at bay for now, but you really need to stay patient. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Pace on here, and there was no risk taken there by Sahil. And anywhere will do kind of approach to the clearance.
But no, you can feel it kind of mounting here. pressure upon Punjab. Aston Villa doing a little bit more now in this final third to make Punjab feel a little bit more uneasy, unsettled, and potentially unsafe.
Challenges are not stopping from a Punjab point of view as they win themselves the throw.
Better defensively there from Patterson. Difficult challenge to make from behind, but he stops the attack from breaking, and that's what they need to do, stop these counter-attacks in their early stages, because Hill will run with the ball and Dodum will definitely run onto the pass that he will play.
Warren's done well under pressure.
Good from the linesman there, having to look all the way down the line, but he's showing his 20/20 vision there to be able to make the decision. A decision that was helped maybe by the Punjab staff who called it very quickly.
Looking for any advantage they can possibly get to try and get this victory. .5 minutes to hold on to. They'll work it out wide on that far side. Picked over the top towards Brannigan.
Well,
Came the challenge, and it's also going to be a Punjab throw.
if the game stays like this, Punjab are going to be pretty happy, aren't they?
They just don't want to risk, you'd imagine, sitting too deep too early in this one, would you say?
No, I couldn't agree more as well. But they always look very secure and they know what they're doing. Each one knows their role. And that's actually where Carroll went wrong to a slight extent. But they've learned from their lessons, Punjab. And defensively, they've looked a lot better since they conceded those 3 to both Spurs and Villa.
Young brought down to the ground.
Loba's playing a little bit of a different position today. More outside on the right wing rather than through the middle. And they're not really making the most of him because he's a powerful runner with the ball. So they potentially have lost a little asset there that could hurt Punjab.
Great ball out towards that far side. Well, there's going to be a first time delivery, but it never really got the height that Aston Villa would have wanted. This is where Punjab have been dangerous so far this afternoon. Just slowing down the break though again, which has been a little bit of a theme in this second half.
Well, if anyone was wondering what was said at half-time, it may have been keep hold of the ball, don't lose it, and that's exactly what they've done there. And you heard a little bit of an annoying shriek, or a shriek of annoyance more so, from the manager of Punjab. Just wasteful possession there.
Patterson, a great take from the fullback, and just overran it.
Clever defending there. Patterson a bit confused as to why he wasn't being helped out by his teammates there earlier. But nevertheless, good tracking back from the right winger, and he was always also helped out by Hill, who is in the position of right back.
Oh, and it's not the best header back that Dodum's going to chase. Dodum's going to get there first, and Dodum is going to score for Punjab.
Is it too early now to sit back, Tyler? Because that is a 2-0 lead. That is so precious for Punjab, and they might just be on their way to claim third place at the Next Generation Cup. And this is a sensational goal by Dodum. It just starts so simply from a long ball, and it's just not dealt with. That's the one thing you've got to be so switched on for. And it's what they were so lazy with in their defensive work, Aston Villa. And Dodum, as I've said repeatedly, he's going to chase every single ball, and Carroll this time again just couldn't keep up with Dodum's intelligence, always playing on the last man, and he was completely left alone. But it was an incredible finish, managing to get it over the goalkeeper, Lewis, who must have felt abandoned by his defence and left helpless. So no, Dodum, I'm sure, really happy to get on this score sheet again. Seems like he likes playing against Aston Villa, doesn't it, Tyler?
The 2 goal scorers against Villa in the first game, and the 2 goal scorers against Villa again in this 3rd place playoff. And the onus now on the side in cloud and blue, who are going to make a triple substitution just before this corner. There was a real change in intent though from Aston Villa, straight from the kickoff after going 2 down, which is a positive sign for them, not to let their heads drop after conceding a second.
No surprise to see Kevir being brought back on either, when they are trying to look for this elusive goal. That's now quickly turned to 2.
Short it goes to Young. Kipchen, who's been so impressive offensively, now doing his defensive duties for Punjab. The opposing numbers coming head-to-head against each other. The Villa number 14, the more successful that time. There's Young. Patterson running away from the danger, laying it off out wide. As it's hammered across the face of goal, and that's the best chance that Villa have had in the 3rd place playoff.
Well, that is exactly the case here. And it's come from Kevir, who I said would be a really dangerous opponent if he was on the pitch, and he has proved that there. But no, that has to go in from Kocher, as it was such a good opportunity, rifled across the 6-yard box. And OK, had to react quickly, but from such close range, you just need the slightest of touches, but he couldn't connect properly. And he's going to be really frustrated with himself, because that goal at such a crucial minute with 15 minutes still to play would have really given his team a lifeline. But they just need to stay switched on here, Villa. Because again, lapses in concentration now twice have cost them, and now once offensively too. Need to keep that eye on the ball more.
Patterson for Aston Villa. Seeking out Young, but it was always unlikely on his left side, and we can see why he's always trying to get it onto his right side.
Yeah, perhaps Patterson was the one who wanted to be fed that type of ball, because he's got a wicked left foot, and crossing can be a really, really good avenue for Aston Villa to score against these Indian sides. I spoke of East Bengal struggling from crosses. They've dealt with these really well, Punjab FC, so far. But you need to crowd this box.
Strong challenge, and too strong for the referee's liking. Was he about to reach for his pocket as well, perhaps? Looked like it for a moment. There's a little bit of calming down just to do here. Card is up from the referee. Gonna have a word with both players now.
The referee's doing really well here, Tyler. Just sorting this out and diffusing the situation, because the captain did get a little bit heated there, and Villa have had some disciplinary issues already in the past, and the referee doesn't want that to continue. I mean, you don't want to take that into the competitive season. which starts so soon for them. And you don't want any injuries, you don't want any bust-ups to happen on this pitch. So, yeah, no, hats off to the referee there. Sahil maybe just needs to calm it a little bit when he does do his defensive work, which he's been doing so well so far with his tracking back, and he's needed to do even more since Patterson's come on the pitch. But yeah, just take it down a little bit.
Not bad seeing those little heated moments, because it just shows how competitive this Premier League Next Generation Cup has been and continues to be on this final game in Birmingham. Of course, don't forget the final at Loughborough University Stadium is later. That was a risky pass back, and that's going to be a Punjab corner from out of absolutely nothing. Could have been worse, though, from a Villa point of view.
No, most certainly. Carroll there just being a little bit complacent with the pass, and I'm sure Lewis is happy to see that go wide of his post. But, and more signs are there. I think the pass was delayed just a little bit too long, as Doden was the one really making the better run of the two, and a lot earlier, which would have caught the Villa defence out a lot more, potentially affording more possession and room and space for Doden to find a very similar finish to he did to score his goal.
Kipchen looking to deliver. It wasn't a bad ball, and the centre half had made his way forward.
Yeah, Carroll did really well there this time, redeeming himself a little bit there, because Pramvir was in a really good position.
But I know there's still just about time for them to try and find their way back into this playoff. Young. Simpson. For Simpson. I don't think it was the last challenge, but I think it was just a succession of challenges on Simpson which made the mind up of the referee.
No, definitely. You don't want to be giving these players free kicks in these sorts of positions. As I've mentioned now again and again, height is a big thing that can come into play, especially when you've got the likes of Timpson in there, who's got such a large stature. So yeah, worrying signs here for Punjab FC. Do have that security of a 2-goal lead though, so I'm sure they'll be finding a bit of comfort in that.
What can Villa come up with here? So it's not the quality they would have wanted at another crucial time, because they're running out of time. Into the side netting it goes.
Deschval did look a little bit concerned though, wasn't sure where it was going to end up. It kind of got lost amongst a sea of bodies for the goalkeeper, as he couldn't really see it as it dipped below everybody's heads. But no, he was relieved to see that go on the outside of the side netting, I'm sure. And it wasn't from a dissimilar position that Dodem scored his last goal.
Head tennis for a moment. They are able to eventually take it down. Dodem, look at the awareness to play it around the outside, and here come Punjab once more, looking for a third, and a really good challenge though. Borland sliding in, had to get it right. They've already conceded one penalty this afternoon, but making sure they didn't concede another.
That's the way to get your revenge, isn't it? After a heated exchange between the two, Borland's come off the victor now, and he's done his talking on the pitch. That is an incredible tackle when he is tracking back. I'm sure he was exhausted after that little bit of defending, but he's not showing it in that tackle. So much energy, so much passion in it.
Dodem takes the corner. An important flick on the way from Aston Villa. Roggio looking to take it round the outside, but that was well read. They're even inside the Villa half, able to tower up and still win the headers from his centre half role. And that at the moment is starting an attack here for Punjab. Again, able to keep it despite the pressure. Pramveer. About finding that pass forward. Punjab will be happy with that, winning the free kick high up in the Aston Villa half.
And Sahil making a nuisance of himself, this time on the left-hand side, to the relief of Patterson, but burdening his teammate in the shape of Simpson, who was not happy to be dealing with such a tricky player. He probably had a little bit easy with the ball always being fed down this right-hand side, as we saw with Dodum. You just know Sahil's making that run every single time.
Kipjan. Wasn't the best clearance away, and can Punjab get their shot away? They're working on now wide. The flag is up though.
Just looks behind him there, Pramveer, as if he thought a body was behind him.
Villa quick to get on with things, understandably so.
Pramveer needs to really get back into position quick. He's had a nice little bit of fun in the opposition's half, but he can't take liberties here. 2-0 can be the most dangerous scoreline in football.
There's Patterson. Again, a really good challenge on him. Villa with the throw. This time they'll try and work their way down the right tier. There's the delivery into the penalty area, and a really good claim that from Dashwell.
Yeah, no shaky hands from the goalkeeper, no butterfingers in such tense moments of the game. He knows how important this is for his side, and how important it is for Indian football too, to be represented at this stage of the tournament. They really want to do their nation proud, and they are doing them proud with this performance, because they're really exemplifying how good the football can be in India, both defensively and offensively.
And they're going to have to show their defensive capabilities here, because Villa are breaking in behind and so close to pulling one back. The strike just wide from Edwards.
Yeah, but that's down to the defending as well. Brilliant from Villa to slice open that midfield and defence so easily, really, and it's Kavir who's making that pass, and I'm not surprised either, coming off the right-hand side where Young struggled a bit more at his time there, but it was a really, really slick pass. Not many defenders were alert to it, but they reacted quite well, just getting their bodies around Edwards to put him off when he had the shot. And Dashwell looked a bit worried as the shot came in, and Edwards will probably also be disappointed. Interesting that they are making substitutions now, Tyler.
Played back to Dashville. It was risky because he almost looked like he was coming out to claim, but when in doubt, of course, it's always better to deal with the situation. Simpson now for Aston Villa. Nice initial take that from the Villa man. Boylan spreading it to Patterson. Good dart inside. Can Villa work room for a shot. Simpson back up wide again. Pressure slowly building. Pramveer still staying alive to the situation. Dodum's completely isolated at the moment, unable to get there first. Young. A minute to go on. Punjab dropping deeper. and deeper. And Villa's still trying to find gaps, and they found one here. Young with the low ball across, and a big save there by Dashville to deny Patterson, who was stretching to get that shot away.
Yeah, and that's the attacking prowess that he does bring Patterson when he plays in that full-back position. It's Young this time who's found himself actually on the wing rather than running into the centre. But Patterson, as you say, just stretching for it. Those long legs couldn't keep up with the ball when in their stride. But no, much better from Aston Villa this time.
Kipchen almost able to win it back. He's still going to give a go at chasing.
Yeah, Carroll really needs to watch himself in this match. There is still time for even 2 goals for Aston Villa, but 3 would be a real battle.
They're looking for the first of those here. Punjab just not allowing Aston Villa to anything at the moment. Boland. Patterson now. Interesting balance, because Villa know they need to be quick to try and get efforts away at goal, but they don't want to rush their attacks too.
Nor do they want to be giving free kicks away in this area. Hill just losing his temper again with the referee. You don't want to have a sour ending to what's such a sweet game at present. Good to see the man's back on his feet though.
It's getting close to that stage where Aston Villa have to score to be in with a chance.
How do you think they're going to approach this one, Tyler?
Well, Punjab had this kind of situation. Kipchen went direct for goal, didn't catch the keeper out, who stayed alert. There is that height advantage, which makes you think a cross might be warranted.
Also the offside of Young here.
Not what Villa would have wanted, because it didn't beat the first man. They're not done there, as Young is found round the outside. The angle was just wrong after he got it onto his right foot. And now here come Punjab down the other end, as Singh is chasing away, but he was caught up in the end. Referee playing advantage, understandably so here for Aston Villa. Brogeo and Dashville will be able to claim for Punjab.
You're 1-0 down. You're 2-0 down, sorry, and you're not getting your men up the pitch when you're up there, when the ball's in that area of the field. So I'm sure that's really going to annoy the coaches, and especially Bragio, who made a tremendous run and found himself in a position where he could cross the ball. There was no one to receive it.
Singh finding Kipchen. Got to work it around the outside to Dodum.
Better from Carroll this time, anticipated the danger, didn't have to react for a change.
It'll be interesting the next set of substitutions that take place, because Punjab are making a change in goalkeepers. At the moment they're looking to make another change to the scoreline and add a third, but they won't do with passes like that. And now Aston Villa will look to half the deficit, as Young is played in behind out wide, bursting into the penalty area, and Dashville down to make the save for Punjab.
Excellent block there from Singh, just stuck with his, Sahil just stuck with his man there, matching him stride for stride, dropped off, goaded Young to take the shots, and that's exactly what he did. But Sahil was in the right place at the right time just to take the sting out of the shot, and that's been a big problem for Young today. He's found the space, he's really been on the end of quite a few chances that have fell Aston Villa's way, but he just hasn't hit them with any conviction.
1 minute to go. Aston Villa still need 2 goals. It looks like Punjab. There's representing the or one of the three India sides here. They've been the most impressive by far, the way they've played, the results they've ended up getting, and they're finishing on an absolute high here as they're about to make a couple of substitutions. Might just be the last two substitutions.
Yeah, there doesn't look like there's much activity, no animation on the Aston Villa bench. Maybe they've kind of accepted their fate a little bit here, and Punjab doing the same, as they're confident enough to take their goalkeeper off and maybe give their number 2 a run on the pitch, just so he can experience the sweetness of this victory.
Along it goes from Punjab, understandably. They win it back again, just in the position they'd want to get the ball inside the Villa half.
They just know when there's going to be that heavy touch.
And the buzzer has gone just below us, meaning it's at the referee's discretion, and he is going to blow up for full time. And look at that from the Punjab players. You can see how delighted they are to take third place in the Premier League Next Generation Cup 2024. They've thoroughly deserved it. It's been a brilliant performance from the side in orange, the Indian side travelling to England. And a fine showing right at the last, as the final score is Aston Villa 0, Punjab 2. And to take you through the goals, firstly it was the penalty. Confident as anything there, Kipchen, despite the goalkeeper going the right way, but no chance for Lewis in between the posts. And then to double the advantage, well, it was a mistake from Aston Villa, but Dodum was absolutely clinical to it. Won the chase and won the battle against the Aston Villa goalkeeper, slotting it home for the second. Villa will be disappointed in the way they conceded that goal. But Dodum, after the mistake, still had to make the most of this situation. He absolutely did. And it's Punjab who take third place in the Premier League Next Generation Cup. A great performance. The final score here, Aston Villa 0, Punjab 2. And for everyone tuning in, thank you for watching.
Thank you.